What does it sound like when I do this?
You sound like you're in a
What is
tin
it?
can.
Yeah, like I said, I started talking while I was taking a drink of water, and now I was like, what if I hold it up to the microphone? Does that sound weird?
It sounds horrible.
It
It sounds like
sounds,
our it sounds like our quality just went down like 10 notches.
it sounds like I'm talking into the wrong mic or something.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
what it sounds like.
like I have my,
Sometimes your
yeah,
monitor picks, like, my monitors have like mics and speakers on them,
sure, yeah.
and sometimes it'll pick that up when I'm recording voiceover, and I have to be so careful because it sounds like garbage.
Yeah, no, that definitely happens. Like sometimes you'll be starting to record something and you'll be like, why the fuck does this sound so bad? And you're messing with everything. It's like, oh, it's recording from my webcam. But no,
Yeah.
in this scenario, this whole time I'm just leaning over and holding a cup to my face.
Okay.
So
Are you
I'll
gonna
put
do
it.
that the
I
whole
can put
time,
it.
or
I think I'll put it down. I was going to ask you: have you ever seen those fields of sunflowers that people grow now for specifically for Instagram?
no?
You've never seen those?
I don't think so.
They they started along like weirdly. I think they started along with like pop up beer gardens and stuff, just like in the past 5 years or whatever, where people will grow an entire field of sunflowers,
Okay.
not to harvest, not for any reason besides to attract people to the field and to take Instagram pictures.
Are you making this up?
No, not at all.
Sounds made
And
up.
I don't know if they're trying to drive, like, I guess sometimes it's probably they're trying to drive somebody to the local business that they own on the land, or sometimes
Okay.
they're trying to just like get money, like charge for parking or whatever. But it's
Mhm.
literally just one of my ex-girlfriends, like years ago, um, took me to like drug me.
She drugged you?
She drugged me and left my body and I had to find my way out of and we dated for another couple years after that.
Holy shit.
All my friends were like, you should leave her. And I was like, it was just one time.
It's just the one drugging.
No, and she dragged me to this exact thing where it's like a big sunflower patch. And then we took pictures. And everybody, and all over this thing was also other people taking pictures.
That's weird.
So she wanted all these nice pictures where she was like posing in front of a sunflower or smelling a sunflower or like acting like she was really happy and enjoying the sunshine with sunflowers behind her. But I did like I was a prairie dog, and I was like, take a video
Okay.
of me, and I like popped up and looked left and looked right and then popped back down.
That's definitely how you should be using these strange what are they called? Like, what are those called? Photo ops or something? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where
Yeah,
you go to places and it's all Instagram like photo ops. What are those called? They're called something.
I'm sure they have a name because they're fucking everywhere. I mean, there's entire bars that are that, right? Like
I
last
know.
year, I went to a Christmas bar, and it's just a bar in Westchester, Pennsylvania. They cover their bar in Christmas trees and like Christmas trees hanging upside down from the ceiling, and they put tinsel everywhere. And it's like, this must have cost you $300 to do.
Yeah.
And yet your business just quadrupled for the next 2 months.
Dude, I went to a pumpkin patch a couple years ago in the city. I'm not really sure if this qualifies as a pumpkin patch, but it was like, a pop-up pumpkin patch. The whole thing was photo ops.
Oh my God. Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
I went to a pumpkin patch a couple years ago, and it was the same. Like, there were families and stuff like getting pumpkins.
Sure.
It was normal pumpkin patch stuff. And then all of a sudden, I saw this army of women all in the same like cottagecore outfit with the same
with the same pumpkin spice latte. Their names are all Becca.
the same Ugg boots, the same like wavy, like looks like it was accidentally messed up, but definitely wasn't haircut, and I don't have much room to talk about
right
that,
now.
but but I'm just saying all of them looked exactly the same, and they were all just coming to take pictures with the pumpkins. And I was like, I'm trying to just buy a pumpkin to chop up. Get out of my way. Anyway,
I don't think there were any pumpkins at the one I went to.
Jesus Christ. The initial thing I was going to ask you is what else would be funny to like plan a field of and make people take pictures in front of it. But I think instead, me and you are just complaining about fucking kids, the Instagram kids these days.
These influencers and their weird patches. I don't want that.
I'm sick of patches.
I just wanted a pumpkin, and what did I get? A photo of myself. Great.
Sad because you didn't have a pumpkin. That is the next one. I just open up a big empty field. And you can come take pictures of yourself sad that there's nothing in the field.
I'll be right there. Hey everyone, welcome back to Save Your Game. I'm Pushing Up Roses. I like to laugh, apparently. Is it obnoxious? Let me know in the comments. With me as always.
You do not want to ask that. You do not want to court that. You do not have an obnoxious laugh, but you are a woman on the internet. There is zero chance that somebody's not going to be like, yeah, it's shrill.
I know. I thought people liked me. I thought people liked my laugh.
They do, but man, people will take at any moment. People will criticize a woman's voice.
Back in my gaming review days, and when I say that, I mean like that was the only thing I was doing. I do one every now and then. I have this podcast, but back when that was the only thing I was doing for YouTube. I'm a snarky reviewer. I think we can agree on that. Sometimes dry, but overall very enthusiastic about what I'm talking about, whether I'm snarking on it or not, right? I'm just very enthusiastic about adventure games. And there was a large amount of people, men, there were a large amount of men who didn't like that about me. They're just like, ugh, she's just some girl on the internet pretending to like video games. It's so obnoxious, as though they wanted me to be like James Rolfe. And there's nothing wrong with that kind of characterization. Angry video game nerd.
Oh,
there's nothing wrong with a characterized.
I kind of don't know who that is either. But
my god, how are you even on this podcast? You're gonna get canceled.
Cancel me! Cancel me! Who am I?
Why do you want to be arrested and canceled?
Who am I? Roses, who am I?
You're Matt Ocamp.
Hey,
of the Pennsylvania Ocamps.
I'm here too, everybody. Hey, nice to be here. I'm the co-host. Okay, anyway, now you can keep telling your story.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, Matt was feeling left out, apparently.
I didn't know who I was. I was having a crisis.
I was going all girl on the internet and everything. But yeah, they would say, like, not every, I don't think, back in the day, there was a lot of, quote, negative gaming reviews that maybe surpassed snark. And I was just kind of like, I don't want to do that. I just don't. I don't really want to be angry at video games. And plus the video games I like, I'm not angry at those. Yeah. I mean, I'm a little angry at Leisure Suit Larry, but in jest. And there's a lot of people who just didn't get it. They just didn't like it. They thought my enthusiasm was obnoxious and a quote, being an attention whore. Which is wild because in real life, like in person, that's why people like me. Like, that's why my friends like being around me. But on the internet, people are like, oh no, she's way too happy. She's way too enthusiastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
I mean, I think there was a period on the internet where people were there's every part of American culture, people have been allergic to women. But there was a period on the internet where people were allergic to joy, right? To sincerity.
And you put that together, man, and it's a hot mess.
And I think that shifted, and now people are allergic to okay, people are allergic on the internet to insincerity and sincerity, but it's like a detached irony or sarcasm or snark. Like that's what people wanted.
Yeah.
And I think people have gotten over that and people are okay with sincerity and joy now, but there's still always going to be this contingent. Like when a great game comes out, for example, you will go to any place there are reviews, any comment section, and people will be like, this is the worst game I've ever played.
I know,
really?
I know.
Silksong is the worst game you've ever played. It's really?
The hyperbole of it all. Like this is the worst one. Really?
Yes. Yeah. Like this is okay. You didn't like the game. That's fine. A lot of people maybe didn't like the game, even if they're wrong. But I think there's real reasons you could just not enjoy that type of game. But this is the worst game you've ever played.
Have you not played Plumbers Don't Wear Ties?
Right.
I can name like 1,000 games that are worse.
Have you not played? What's the Path of the Druid? Is that it, or is that the fun?
Oh yeah, Mystery of the Druids.
Mystery of the Druids. Path of the Druid is
broken.
Path of the Druid is a good one. I think Path of the Druid is a good one, and I wanted to say that because I'm sorry. I think there's a game called Path of the Druid. Is there? Isn't there?
Listen, is there? Path of the... If not, we should make it.
We should make a game called
on a kind of related side.
Plot of the Druid.
Wow, there's a lot of games with the Druid.
There's not a Path of a Druid.
There's not a Path of the Druid. We should make it. I'll tell Grundislav Games to get on that.
Grundislav, make Path of the Druid and say it was us.
We are very goofy tonight. What's wrong with us?
We started late.
Lord, we did.
Sorry, you were saying.
We did start late. I was going to say on a related note, and I'm happy to talk about this since it is gaming. It's all gaming related and my kind of gaming career related. But on a different note, I did have a few negative reviews out there. One was on Leisure Suit. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. One was on Police Quest 1. I said that because Al Lowe ghost wrote for Police Quest 1 and put some Leisure Suit Larry screen gaps in there.
I would have just cut it out, but now that you've justified it, I have to leave both
in.
Yeah,
you got to leave it in. Yeah, no, you got to leave it in.
Well, hey, we strive for honesty here.
No, that's fine. I got it mixed up, but that's the reason. I got it mixed up, so it makes sense. And the other one was Quest for Glory 2. And I gave them negative reviews. And then instead of being happy that I am now pivoting into a different emotion, those same men were mad at me because those were the best games ever made, and how dare I not like them? You cannot win.
Well, you violated.
Let's be honest.
You're still violating rule number 1, which is don't be a woman.
I'm sorry. What should I do? You don't. I mean, technically, you don't know that. I could be a lemur in a trench coat, or 3 lemurs.
Yeah, I've never seen you without your trench coat on.
You didn't notice all the paws like sticking out of my clothes?
No, I guess I'm just like that? I don't pay much attention.
Oh, great!
Don't worry. Hey, I'm on Adderall now, so it's okay. Next time we meet, I'll see all your paws shutting out,
all the little lemur hairs floating in the. It's shedding season, so you know. Or it was. It's not really summer anymore. Anyway, that's my story about games. I'm going to be enthusiastically talking about a game today, so if you don't like that, get the fuck out.
I've got a few games to talk about enthusiastically.
Really?
Yes.
So, hey, I have a question. When's the last time you didn't like a game? When's the last time you were, in recent times during this podcast recording, when was the last time you weren't feeling it?
Well, I think... Okay. Oh there's a bunch that I just don't talk about on the show. Because there's a lot of games I play that I'm not in love with and I stop pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I don't have any desire to warn people about them or like there's not enough. I don't hate it enough to want to yell about it, and I don't love it enough to be like, this is great, but
Yeah, that's fair.
and sort of say, like, people should look at this, but I wish it was different in all of these ways, right?
Yeah.
So I so I don't want to name the 3 games from this year that I'm looking at right now that I played some of.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't continue.
That's fair. That's fair. I
But I
that
think
this honestly, this is related to what I was doing with my channel. I didn't really feel like talking about
yeah.
games that I'm just not really feeling it. And here's why. I just didn't, I'm obviously I'm a critic in my own right, and I
Yeah.
believe in art and I believe in that. So I'm not afraid to criticize things,
Mhm.
but I can do that in like a happy way.
Yeah, okay, so the last game on the show, I think we were the last game that we were the most critical of, which I know has 2 qualifiers, so that almost
Mhm.
renders it meaningless, but I think you kind of know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The last game that me and you were the most critical of is
But me too?
yes, is
Oh,
probably Cabernet.
okay. Yeah,
A game that we
that's
both
fair.
really loved in concept and we played a lot of, and there was a lot
Yeah.
of stuff we really, really loved about it, but
Yeah.
uh it was just a bit too many steps away from what it could have been or what they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Since then they've updated it a few times. So
That's good.
I do want to eventually go back and replay it and see
I
if
do too.
some of those kinks have been worked out. But I think that was the last game that me and you had as many critical things to say about it as we did praise.
And I liked that game too. But
Yeah.
no, you're right. It was buggy. I did have some criticisms for sure.
Yeah, it was buggy. The pacing was weird in places. Some things
Yeah.
didn't work for us as well as we thought they were going to.
Yeah.
But,
That's fair.
again, I wonder if I think if all those bugs have been ironed out, which by now hopefully they have, and a
Yeah.
couple of those little quality of life features have been improved, I think I would love it. I think I would go back to I think I would my my B minus score would maybe jump up to an A minus.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry,
Um
I know I went on a tangent there by opening the
no.
floodgates by asking that question, but I am interested to know what games you did play this week. Yes, this week. It's been a week.
Okay, so one of the games that I want to talk about real quick is just a game. I played a demo, and I talked about this last year when I went to Adventure Game Fanfare. There was a demo by Sunsgrove Studios called War of the Western Deep, and they just released and I don't know if that demo was ever available to the public or if that was just at the convention, but they just released a new demo.
Okay.
What it is, it's like it's like an anthropomorphic animal adventure.
Oh.
You know,
Well, I
as
didn't know
if
you
there's
were a furry, Matt.
stop, as if there's not enough of those though, right?
Oh, I
Like there's
know.
so
I
many of
know.
those. And
People like, what can I say? People like animals, and they're even better when they can talk.
yeah, but the animation here is really good. The graphics are kind of cartoony and really fun. The thing that it's closest to in my mind, the game that it's closest to is probably Brok the InvestiGator.
Oh, yeah, 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 that was a good game.
Yeah, it was really good. And
Yeah.
I think uh this game has a lot of similar elements where instead of beat 'em up, there's turn-based combat.
Oh,
Uh
fun.
Along with the point and click stuff.
Yeah.
And you play a courier in the middle of a fictional fantasy world of animal people that seems like it's on the brink of war between a bunch of different factions. And
Mhm.
like any fantasy war scenario, it's very hard to keep track of, and unlike a Game of Thrones or something where they dole that out to you little by little,
Mhm.
there's a lot of info dump stuff.
Oh, geez. Is it
um
good info dump or bad info dump?
I had trouble following it.
Got it.
But it didn't ruin there was still characterization in the info dump, so, like, it didn't ruin the experience for me,
Mhm.
and, yeah, there's a cute little demo that seems to be sort of like the beginning of the game. You are investigating a little mystery, you fight a little creature, and roses.
Yes.
the ultimate goal of this demo
Uh-huh.
is to find a loose crank.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yes. They had to order one. Their crank broke. Their crank broke, so they had to order a new loose crank.
I love it.
You have to, because you find like it's a demo, so I can spoil whatever the fuck I want. I want. So she comes across a camp of one of these factions, and she's like, "Where are the border guards? They should have stopped me." And then she finds them dead.
Mm-hmm.
They've all been killed by this creature that you're eventually going to fight. But in order to, first she wants to investigate and see what the hell is up. But then in order to keep going, there's a bridge that she needs lowered that normally the border guards would. They can't because they're all dead. And you find that the crank mechanism broke and they had to order a new crank. So you basically kind of have to like find a combination to a chest to get a key to get into a room to find the crank to get across the bridge. That's but in the meantime, like in the meantime, you're sort of investigating a little like what happened to these guards, which I already spoiled, but it's fine. It's just a demo.
Okay. It's a demo, yeah.
And I think, like Brok, I think this is going to end up having branching paths because it's listed as a choose your own adventure, and I think that's I don't know. I'm excited for it.
Okay, good.
I think.
Could you repeat the name of it for me?
War of the Western Deep by Sunsgrove Studios. It's their first game, but they seem to be putting a lot of work and a lot of love into it. And I also really liked their original demo.
Oh my god. This looks so cute. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know what I had in my head while you were explaining that, but it was not this.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was like when you said turn-based, I immediately thought not 2D. Actually, went 3D in my head.
I think I'm wrong about that, by the way. Okay. I think it is. I don't think it's turn-based. I just played it. I don't know why I said turn-based. It is real time. It's real-time combat, but in their own like in their own screens.
Okay. Oh,
you cut.
So, wait a minute. Are you playing a squirrel?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess maybe you are.
This game is meant for me. This is meant for me.
The combat is really simple. Again, I'm going to say, like Brok, the combat is the simplest version of the thing that it is. But there's enough character and enough really well done animation, and the combat is functional enough that I think it's going to be good. I'm excited for it.
I downloaded the demo just now. It really looks cute. You really sold it on me. It really looks cute. I love squirrels. I relate to squirrels. I relate to loose cranks. What can I say?
Yeah. Me and you, a couple of loose cranks. We've said this before.
We should have named our podcast Loose Cranks. What were we thinking?
Nobody would have known at all what the fuck this podcast was about.
Nobody would listen to it.
No.
Like, is this like a naughty podcast? Loose Cranks? We just start talking about adventure games. Totally disappointing.
We're like a slutty improv team, the Loose Cranks.
The Loose Cranks.
So,
but we're also the worst improv you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah. Well, every single thing turns into our characters trying to fuck somebody else.
Brilliant. Come down to Chicago, the improv scene, and we'll get this going, Matt.
Okay. So so War of the Western Deep, I have no idea when it's supposed to come out. But again, I've seen 2 demos of it so far. So there's some vertical slices already finished that could mean that they are very far, or it could mean that they've worked very hard on 2 demos. Right?
Sure.
That is a thing that definitely happens.
Yeah, I mean, you know how especially adventure game development in the indie scene, it can take a while.
Right.
Yeah. Not a criticism, by the way. Just,
Again, there can be, especially when you've done a successful kiss starter.
A kiss starter?
Huh.
It's an idea, Matt. You're just full of great ideas tonight.
Especially when you've done a successful Kickstarter, which I believe they have done. As I'm looking it up, I think they also have a comic book.
It looks that style, doesn't it? I think that's why I'm
Yes.
so like entranced by it. It's so cool looking.
Huh. Yeah. Beyond the Western Deep is an ongoing all-ages fantasy webcomic that I've been publishing with Rachel Bennett, Jerome DeCinto, and Leah Briere since early 2012. Holy cow. So there's a whole world here.
Dang. That's cool.
My interest
to go down. Yeah.
My interest, however, is in this game. I'm not sure. Yeah, I if the game really, really captures me, who knows?
I need to add something to this.
Yeah, please.
So I was on the page because I just downloaded the demo, and in the related games is a game called Date Everything. And I think I need to play this.
There's a game from this year called Date Everything. I listened to an interview with the developer. It is a visual novel where every object in your house is alive and has a personality, and you can try to date it.
Sold. I mean, that's what I do in my real life. Why would I not want to bring this to video games?
You just walk around your house trying to date your toaster and your
printer,
carpet.
What's up? No, I would never date a printer. Totally unreliable.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So the other game that I played that I was really, really impressed by, it's a very short game, but it was really interesting. It was really good. It was called The Dark Queen of Mortholme.
That's one of those titles.
Yeah. No. The Dark Queen of Mortholme.
Okay.
It's pixel.
Oh, wow.
It's a pixel art game. It takes place in one room. You start the game and you're basically a 2D like Dark Souls boss. You are a giant armored woman sitting on a throne with a big mace in this really, lavish royal throne room. And a hero walks in and challenges you to a fight. Mm-hmm. So get down off your throne. He starts coming at you. He starts nicking at your armor with his little sword. It's doing barely any damage. You take your mace, you swing it, he's dead. You walk over to him, you snap your fingers, and his corpse disappears, leaving just like a blood stain on the floor. And then you walk back over to your throne. And as you arrive at your throne, Hero runs in and challenges you to a fight. Mm-hmm. And you turn around, this is the same person.
Okay.
So you walk over, and you swing your mace at him, and he dodges. And you're like, huh. And you swing it one or two more times, he's dead. Right? Huh. And that's how the game goes. He just keeps coming back. Oh, so the next time he comes back, you're talking to him. You're like, oh, you picked up a new move. And he was like, yeah, I'm learning I'm going to beat you eventually. And you're like, okay, well, I guess I got to use all my moves. And now you unlock 3 moves. Mm-hmm. You can summon like a damaging magic circle. You can dash across the field with your mace outstretched, or you can swing your mace. And again, you hit him one time, he's dead. And he just keeps coming back. And the game is about the relationship between you two.
That's adorable. Is it meant to be adorable?
It is meant to be adorable. And thoughtful, right? It starts out with this little hero seems really silly. And you seem like the adult in the room, and he seems like he or they seem like a dumb little child who's like clearly out of their league, and you're like, what are you doing? Yeah. But the more he comes back, the more that dynamic starts to shift, and you start to seem like the immature one, right? Like they start to seem like the person with a reason to live and a goal and a mature perspective on the world. And you start to seem like a person with no aims and no goals and no, reasons. And that dynamic shifts a couple times as he just keeps coming back and you keep fighting him and you keep killing him and he keeps getting a little bit better. And that's I think where I'll stop describing it. But yeah, it's about a half an hour to an hour.
Oh, okay.
It's short game. I played it.
Okay.
I played it twice to see if there are different endings, and so far I've found 3 different endings.
Oh, cool.
The other endings are sort of gimmicky, right? Like they revolve around doing something unintuitive.
Yeah.
And it basically just like get an achievement and to see a silly little other kind of ending.
Sure.
But even those have something both funny and a little thoughtful about them.
Yeah, I can see that.
Every conversation you have with him, you always have 2 dialogue options. So there's always, you can, since it's so short, you can play through and see all the other dialogue. So I would suggest playing through this game once or twice and then sort of experimenting with, just any little dumb idea you have and see if you can, if that leads to anything interesting.
I love the premise.
Yeah, and this, even though it's just 1 room and 2 characters, it's also beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really nice to look at. There's really
yeah, I mean, if you can make that work, if you can make a 1-room game interesting and immersive, yes, please. Sounds great.
There's also just like nice lo-fi video gamey boss fight music that's nice. It's again, it's cute, it's thoughtful, it's a little funny, it's pretty. It's definitely, I think it's like $5 or something.
It is. And also, as of yesterday, there is a Cabernet and Dark Queen of Mortholme bundle. It's bundled with Cabernet. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I think I got it for like $5.50 because I already had Cabernet. But yeah, or $4.50, I mean. But yeah, I think it's something, I think it's really special. I think it's a special little game.
Yeah.
And the developer Mosu.
Yep.
I'm kind of interested in what else they might do.
Yeah, I am too.
What would they do with a full length game is a question I have. And in order for them to ever make a full length game, we got to buy the Dark Queen of Mortholme.
I love that. I will definitely spend a little bit of time with this game to see what it's about.
Yeah, it's smart. Again, even though you might be like, it's $5 worth a half hour where I'm pretty sure I know what happens. I think it is. And I think even if it is to support an indie dev with a really good idea who then will maybe use that money to, in 5 years, make your favorite game, perhaps,
I would also be open to a lot of vignette games from this dev, as long as they're, unique enough.
Yeah, I think I think like the itch.io community has a lot of these, right? These little bite-sized games. And I think this person started on itch. But these little bite-sized games that are built around an idea. But again, these are the people who become the future developers of our favorite games. And that's not to say it's just charity. Like, again, it was worth it. It really... It felt good. It felt good the whole time. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you for this recommendation. I'm definitely going to play it.
Awesome. Yeah. Let me know what you think about it. Hopefully we can talk about it next episode if you spend some time with it. And again, it goes really fast and it's worth it.
Play it on my Steam Deck.
Yeah. It works.
From my bed.
It works well with the controller.
I'm sure it does. Yeah.
So that's the Dark Queen of Mortholme and the demo for War of the Western Deep. Now, Roses.
Yes.
What the frick are we talking about today?
I forgot. No, I didn't. I'm just very into these games. You just showed me. I'm just like, ooh, ah. We are going to be talking about a very, very much anticipated game from both of us.
Yeah.
I could not wait to play this. Strange Antiquities, the
yes
sequel, we can call it a sequel, to Strange Horticulture, which I had found later in life. And I didn't
later in life. I was almost too old to enjoy it, but I managed.
I did it. I named all the plants. No, I found that a little bit later and loved it. And I did a video on it and everything. And I was just like, I need another game like this because it's so unique. I haven't played another game quite like this. And then, saw this trailer for Strange Antiquities. We were so stoked. And we finally got to play it. I finished it in 2 days, and I will tell you why when we start talking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm stoked. Should we get into some Lucy Crankerino? I did it! I made one up!
Oh yeah, let's do it! Roses.
Yes.
There's a game that just released as we were talking that I'm excited about.
Yes, do tell.
It is Dad's Monster House 2 Metal. Like metal. like a metal around your neck. It's another one of these cotton games. You know those cotton games that I talk about sometimes? Isoland and...
we just talked about those on our last Ranking Every Adventure Game Ever.
Oh, right, because one of them came up, right?
Yes.
I don't remember. Or a game similar to one of them came up. I can't remember how it worked. But, funnily enough, it's their second game this year. Because I think I just talked about Pumpkin Town Isoland on a recent episode. And they just released a sequel to another one of their games that I really liked called Dad's Monster House. And they just released it, just now.
Nice.
I bought it and now I'm playing it. So you do the rest of the podcast.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go play that squirrel demo.
No, okay. Anyway, this is Pushing Up Roses, everybody.
Hi, it's me. This is Matt Ockamp.
Hi, it's me.
We talk about video games on the internet.
Yes. What are we talking about today? It's Strange Antiquities.
Woohoo! I'm so excited.
Okay.
And yet so frustrated that I found so this is a Roses game in aesthetic and a Matt game in mechanic. A little bit for me too, because I do like these kind of organizational life sim games. I do like those, but I find these kind of puzzles very difficult.
Yeah, I think this game had real... Because I think this is a type of aesthetic that I like and a type of puzzle that you like. But you're right. Each of those things fall further in each other's... Yeah. Right? Further in each other's wheelhouse.
Yeah, definitely. They're not as hard as like a Myst style puzzle to me.
Okay.
So they're not quite on that level of logic puzzle. There was just something about them. They're not inventory object puzzles. They're not fetch quests. So I did struggle a little. They're riddles, right? A lot of them can be, I think compared to a little riddle.
Sure. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
So before we get started on Strange Antiquities, do you want to tell people, we talked about it on a previous episode, I think it was 28.
Okay.
But do you want to tell people about Strange Horticulture, these people's previous game?
Strange Horticulture is an amazing little title that went over my radar. And I think I touched on this in our last episode, but I think the reason it went over is because I found the graphics a little rudimentary, and that's silly. Why would I? That's so stupid. That doesn't determine, and I know that logically, but sometimes, but not perfect.
I think these graphics, you could look at this game and it could make you think it's going to be like a casual mobile style game.
Yes, it can. It can make you think that. And so I initially was like, nah, like it looked witchy. It looked everything that I would like, but I initially set it aside. And then I guess last year I played it, and it's this great, I'm going to call it a mystery game, because you are kind of unraveling a mystery. It's this game where you are an owner of a witchy plant store. And you have all of these amazing, I think they're fictional too, these amazing like fictional plants that you need to sell to people, and you have to identify them as well. So you got your book, you got your book, your index of plants, and somebody will come in and be like, oh, my head hurts. Is there like a flower that can help with that?
Yes.
Or like a medicine. And then you'd have to go consult your book and see if you have something like that. And that's kind of the main mechanic. But what really impressed me with Strange Horticulture is there's an explore mechanic. So every now and then you'll get a hint or a letter to go somewhere on this map, and the screen doesn't necessarily change. It's more text based than that, but it is well written enough that you do feel like you're traveling, and you're traveling around the fictional I guess town of Undermere.
Yeah.
And it's sort of this magical place. It's sort of entranced with darkness almost. Everyone's acting a little strange. I think it's implied that it's always kind of been like that.
And I think in the first game, you're traveling around more than just Undermere. You're traveling around and this, I only correct you here because this distinction I think is going to be important. You're traveling around. Your shop is in Undermere, and you are traveling around the like whole area that Undermere is part of. Like there's I don't know if you ever get like a country name, but there's like a lot, like there's an old medieval map, and there's like a lot of towns and castles and
I remember that now. The map is a little bit different actually in Strange Antiquities, so I forgot that Undermere is kind of for sure.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because it is a different okay, go ahead.
Yep. So and there's a little plot line happening as well. It has to do with the supernatural. I don't quite remember where it goes, but I do remember something evil is happening or demonic is happening in Undermere, and you need to kind of use your plant powers to resolve it. I remember the end of that game being very difficult, and I'm like, what plants do I use? And man, by the end of that game, I had so many plants, you guys. It was wild. And I really like it. There's a labeling system. I have insane OCD. That's not a joke. I have it. And I liked labeling all my things. And it's very cozy, but it's beyond a cozy game. Let's just say that. I wouldn't call this a casual cozy. I would call it an atmospherically cozy game that you kind of have to work a little bit at to get these puzzles.
I think that's true. And I think one of the issues I had with the first game was that so much of you described a situation where somebody comes in and says like, my head hurts, and you need to find a plant that cures a headache, right?
Yes.
But
yes.
In 90% of cases, 95% of cases even, it pops up at the bottom of where the customer is with exactly the type of plant you need. Yes. So you're not really doing deduction or investigation about, well, you are. You just open your book to that exact plant, and then you're looking at the plants on your shelf and saying, okay, what plant has these qualities that I think is Wandering Bew, for example, or Elderfinium was the name of a plant. So
Bandy root.
Yes, exactly. So I wish that it had two layers to that puzzle, right? First, they just said, I have a headache.
Yeah.
And then you have to search through the thing and be like, okay, what would be good for a headache? And then had to identify the plant once you found its journal entry. And there was a little bit of that, but not much, and I wanted more. In fact, I replayed Strange Horticulture very recently, and the thing that I found most of all was that it was sort of tedious. A lot of the puzzles would be more like, I need a plant. My grandmother is looking for a plant. She used to call it sweet breath. And you would flip through just the book and just see until you found the word sweet breath in the descriptions of the flowers and be like, oh, this isn't the right one, but like, oh, that's long vericund. Okay. And then you hand them long vericund. And it's like, okay, so the puzzle there was I had to flip through a book until I saw the word sweet breath. Like,
right.
And granted, there's some sort of since this has a bit of like a sim element, there's some sort of aspect of that where it's like, yeah, in this world, that's what this horticulturist would have to do.
Right.
So there's some verisimilitude there, but from a gameplay standpoint, I think I wanted it to be more, to challenge my brain more.
Yeah.
And so we come to Strange Antiquities.
Which does exactly what you wanted it to do. Yes.
Exactly. So
it's a great mechanic.
And I'll say the first story, the story of Strange Horticulture, which I think we talked about this game and its mechanics in episode 28, but I don't think we talked pretty much at all about the story. Mm-hmm. The story of the first one was that there was like a coven of witches in the area who found their leader called the Arda. They found her dead of a mysterious illness, and you help them to diagnose that illness. And from there on, it kind of branches, right? So from there on, there's two factions that are working to stop this creature that seems to be invading the area and wants to destroy this coven of witches and also wants to destroy Undermare. Yeah. And maybe the whole area. You choose which faction you want to work with. There's also a woman in a jade mask who keeps appearing.
Yeah.
And you have to discover, maybe you don't have to, but throughout the way, you sort of discover what her role in all of this is. And occasionally you make some choices about what plants you get. Like it'll give you options. Do you want to give them this plant that gives them courage to face their demons, or do you want to give them this plant that gives them protection while they hide, right? Yeah. And so now, and based on what you give them, either they'll go fight or they will hide. And you don't know what that outcome is going to be. They could fight and they could win, and it could move the story, like it could save somebody else's life, for example. Or they could hide and the protection doesn't work and they get killed, right? So you don't know what sort of effects your decisions are going to have. Those effects aren't obvious. Right. And when I went back to Strange Horticulture, there's a mean rich man. And he comes in and he asks you for a very specific plant. You give him the plant and he comes back and he yells at you. And he's like, I'm going to report you to this. This made my skin itchy. I'm going to report you. He doesn't say, I'm going to report you unless even. He just says, I'm going to report you. Now, you better give me the thing that I need. And you have the option of giving him the thing that he needs that soothes his itchy skin. Or you got get option to give him something that gives him boils. So I gave him boils.
Hell yeah.
And then he comes back and he tells you he's going to go to the mayor or something and get this whole place shut down.
Okay.
And it says you can give him a thing that wipes his memory so he forgets what you've done to him. Or you could give him a thing that kills him.
Oh my god!
I killed him. And I got an achievement for it, so I must not have killed him last time.
That's funny.
So I killed him, and then the next day a cop comes, and the cop is like, let me have a look around your shop. And he's like, I didn't find anything.
Yeah.
But then at the epilogue to the game, the cop comes and he's like, hey, I know what you did. I'm here to arrest you. And you can give the cop a plant that offers friendship. If you give him that, you get arrested, by the way. Or you can give him a plant that eats him. You know, Little Shop of Horrors style.
I love that.
Very funny.
Love that. Very funny.
Is so good. Anyway, so one of the characters in this, it's a weird thing, right? The first game, because what the fuck does plants have to do with supernatural horror?
Right. I mean, witchy for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's like you have a plant that opens any lock. And it's like, oh, interesting. Okay.
It's extremely fantastical. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'll say one other thing about Strange Antiquities, because there's some characters that carry over. For example,
you mean horticulture?
Yes. Well, both. Yeah, there's some characters that carry over from Horticulture to Antiquities.
Yeah.
The one that has the biggest role, well, okay, I'll name two. First is the mailman, and he rules.
Yeah, he's great. Very diligent with the mail.
Yeah, the world will be ending. He'll be like, well, somebody's got to deliver the mail.
Someone's got to deliver this letter.
It's so good. Also, there's no voices, by the way. Any voices that we do, we will be giving to the characters.
I'm just assigning that, yeah.
Yeah, because you grow a lot of affection for these characters.
Yeah.
I'm sure they all have voices in our heads.
Absolutely.
But so there's the mailman, and then there's a woman named Verona Green, who's like the town psychic that always gets involved in all the supernatural matters.
She's an occultist, like specialist, like a scholar in the occult.
Yes, and she's awesome.
Yeah,
and she plays a major role. She plays a pretty major role in the first game. Well,
more major in Antiquities for sure.
Yeah, the first game she's around the whole time and she's helping you the whole time, but she does not play the she's not central to the events of the plot as much as she is in Antiquities. Okay, so what's the premise of Strange Antiquities, Roses?
So this is great. I think I like this premise even more.
Yes, it makes more sense too.
Yeah. So you are in, is it Undermere or Undermere? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Undermere rhymes with underwear, so I say Undermere.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I say Undermere. And you are running a store called Strange Antiquities. You don't own it. Somebody else owns it. They're off on like a quest and they're leaving you in charge.
Yes.
Ooh. And this is a store that deals with special items. So anything from occult items, basically, like magical items, anything from little totems to maybe amulet style things to things that are considered dark magic to items that are helpful to people. Like they help with the disease and curses and stuff like that. So that's the kind of store you're running now. And it's sort of, I actually kind of forgot there is a difference in mechanic to Strange Horticulture, because this time people will come in and they will say something like, I'm having nightmares and there's got to be an item to help me with it's a last. Did you notice that all of them were like, it's a last resort. I don't normally resort to this, but there's so many people are like, I don't dabble in magic, but please give me this magic item. So your store is already a little bit full of magic items. You collect more as you play the game, but they'll be like, I got a headache, and they might give you something more about it. Actually, a lot of them will tell you the name of it. They'll be like, they'll be like, I would like this specific totem.
Just like in Strange Horticulture, but there's a reason that it doesn't bother me in Antiquities, and we'll get to it. Yeah.
So you are actually given a book of Strange Antiquities, and there's like a little index in it, you can basically look up what you need. So you would look up, magical totem. That's not one of them. I'm just suffering from creative lapse right now.
No, there's an amazing thing here. There's an index, right? Like is that what you're referring to? Yeah.
There's two things. There's an index, and then there's also like there's an alphabetical list of all the items.
Yes.
And there's an index if you need to look up like a word, for example. So for example,
word headache, yeah.
Yeah, or poison or death or something like that.
It's not necessarily going to bring you to the thing you need.
Right.
But it might bring you to something that starts giving you a clue towards the thing you need.
Exactly. I cross-referenced a lot.
Exactly. There's a puzzle early on where somebody wants a mask that involves a mask to do a ritual that involves some kind of god, right? And so you click on that god's name, takes you to that part of the index. There's 2 objects under that god's name in the index. You click on the other object, and next to it you see a picture of that god, and he is wearing the item that you need to find.
Right. So
Later, he's also involved in them. Later, he's also involved in that mask puzzle. But that's the first puzzle that really was like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
It's like a step deeper than horticulture.
It's a couple steps deeper because you can also, maybe I'm not remembering Strange Horticulture enough, but I was really taken with you can, inspect an item and you can touch it to see what it's made out of. You can listen to it to see if it makes a sound. Because these are magical items, You can look at the composition and color of it. It'll say this has a blue stone. Maybe it's turquoise or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's a perception as well. Does it make you feel weird or funny? Right. And those are really, really important clues. They come up a lot when you're trying to identify an object. And I think I liked that the most. Just like, I do want to put my ear to this object and see if it makes a noise.
Yes, exactly. In horticulture, there is one descriptor, right? You can look closelier. You can look closelier, actually. You can look closelier at a plant and it'll tell you, it'll just be one observation. Like, oh, when I handle the leaves of this plant, it makes my fingers ache. Or, oh, the petals are so delicate. Yeah. And that descriptor may or may not help you identify it with a trait of that plant in the book.
Right.
But in this, there's 4 things, like you're saying. So you get 4 different observations that the character's making, as well as the observations you can make with your actual eyeballs.
Yeah.
And more gets added to it as the game goes along, which I guess we'll get to. We're probably not there yet in your...
I think we can...
So I'll let you keep going. Okay.
I think we can kind of talk about it, because in terms of the plot, right? So here's kind of what I struggled with Strange Antiquities. I think I was so taken by the mechanic of this game that I'm not sure if the plot shined for me. There is another mystery going on. I would call it, again, a mystery game that you are unraveling, and there is this darkness once again. People are showing up with black eyes. There have been a few deaths. It seems that some people are kind of losing their mind. Verona is back, as you said, and she's kind of looking into it as well. She kind of like can't help herself. She's also looking into it.
And her daughter is there, right?
And her daughter's there too. Yeah. And meanwhile, you're running the shop. Maybe.
And is she the same librarian as in the first game?
I don't remember. I'm sure there is crossover for that if Verona's in there.
Okay. Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, so there's something strange going on, and people are coming in with interesting things to say. So here's how I kind of made the plot move for myself by accident. So, woman came in. She is an artist, and she wants to be able to paint again so badly. And I was just
I don't know any artists.
Did you know that I'm an artist?
What? I knew an artist all this time? Holy shit.
All this time.
Whoa. Okay.
I was, as an artist, I was wanting to help her so badly.
Yes,
and
yeah.
Sometimes in these games, like you kind of mentioned earlier, there's 2 items you can choose between. And a lot of them are like, good consequence, maybe a little less good consequence. So I had both of these items, and I was trying to identify which one's which.
Maybe I was focusing too much on my joke, but did you mention that she had gone blind?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she was blind. She's an artist. Maybe I didn't mention that, but yeah, she is blind, and she just wants to be able to do art again. And she comes to us for an item that might be able to help her and benefit her. And there's 2 items you can choose between. I identified both of them. And one item is like a synesthesia item, which helps you to like feel and like see, like sense colors and things of that nature.
Synesthesia.
Why can't I say that?
No, it's
synesthesia. The
I just
other
know
one.
The internet loves to yell at people who pronounce things wrong.
I'm so sorry. I pronounce things wrong all the time.
I'm trying to save you from emails.
So the other thing is like a kind of an ominous object that gives her the spirit eye. And it'll give her visions. Listen, I got a little confused. I very much wanted to give her the synesthesia one. That I was intent on that. That was my choice. That's what I wanted to give her. Did I accidentally give her the other one? Yes, I did. And she came back to the shop and was like, I should have never came here, but also I am seeing these visions from the spirit eye, and she's telling me all these ominous things that are going on and like under mirror. And but at the end, I didn't feel so bad, because at the end she's like, I feel like I'm on an adventure I've never had before.
Aww.
Even though I did give her the more ominous, stressful one to have, because now she's having visions, literally dark visions. She's just like, I've never been able to do this before. And I kind of like this adventure. I kind of like this journey.
That's awesome, because she came back to me like the next day and said, I've come to thank you for sharing the wonder of that object.
That is not what happened to me. And it was very much an accident. I had both items. I got confused on maybe how they looked. Because, some of them look dangerous, but most of them are pretty unassuming, just magic things. Like, yeah, there's a withered hand. That's probably not great. But a lot of them are, pendants and totems. And I just got a little confused. And I gave her the spirit eye.
Yeah.
Seeing all these dark things, I'm like, oh my God. I'm so sorry.
So, unlike in the first game where you just have the one book to reference, in this game you get a bunch. And I'll just talk about the first 2, so as not to spoil anything, really.
Yeah.
But one is your index that has a general description, and sometimes maybe a usually not a picture of the object, but a picture of something related to the object, a story that the object was in, or something that'll help you.
Yeah.
And that's the one with the index of terms that is also very helpful. The other book that you get pretty early on is a book of symbols. Yes. Which is really cool. So it has, for example, you have a bottle, it has a cross on it, and that cross means vinegar. So that bottle has vinegar.
Right.
Or you have a statue, and it has like some runic symbol on it.
Right. That means like protection or something.
Yes, exactly. And so you can use those to understand the objects you have. There's some other things. There's 2 other books, and again, I don't want to spoil too much because this game just came out. So maybe we'll just stick to those 2.
Sure.
But
yeah, there are a couple other books that are in the same vein that are there to help you identify things and ailments and totems and strange artifacts and stuff like that. I feel like it sounds on paper very intimidating and very overwhelming, but you would actually be surprised at how quickly you get used to the mechanic of this game. The Explorer option is also back because you still have those type of puzzles, but it's really cool this time because you get more than one map this time. And I really liked exploring the other maps this time
So
around.
let's talk about some of the differences with the explore
Yeah.
function. So in the first game, your explore function was limited.
Yes.
You had like a what was called a will to explore, which was like an energy
Yes.
meter,
Right.
and it fills up when you sometimes when you receive letters. It fills up at the beginning of each day. It fills up when you water your plants, which is very slow.
Yes.
And it's to dissuade you from just clicking everywhere on the map.
Right.
And there's a second mechanic to dissuade you from clicking everywhere on the map, and that is your sanity meter.
Mm-hmm.
Your sanity meter is like, there's multiple ways it can go down. If you pick the wrong plant for somebody, or if you visit a place that you're not supposed to, that is also that turns out to be dangerous.
Yes.
This game does away with the will to explore. You can just click everywhere on you want anywhere that you want to on the map if you so desire.
And that took me aback a little bit. I was like, "Oh, because you can explore anytime you want." And I was trying to get used to the mechanic. I was trying to remember, and I'm like, "Oh, that's strange. I really thought you had to. This was a meter, and you had to fill that
Yeah.
meter to get the will to explore." I wonder if they got some criticisms on that, or if they just wanted to change it up a little bit. I do
Yeah.
like this mechanic better.
Me too.
I'm less frustrated with this mechanic. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have to just sit there watering plants for 5 minutes
Right.
to check so you get clues randomly from customers or the mailman or from a place that we haven't talked about yet, or just at the beginning of the day. You get one
Yeah.
clue basically every day. And if you interpret the clue wrong and go to the wrong place, in the first game, you just have to sit there and water your plants. But in this
Yes.
one, you just get to try again as many
Yeah.
times as you want. But if you go to certain places and you don't know which places they are, your sanity meter will go down.
Yeah. And this makes way more sense to me as a mechanic
Mhm.
because it's like you go to a place, yeah, you're wasting time, right? You're wasting time. You're going around Undermere, which is kind of, again, darkly enchanted. So it makes more sense to
Yeah.
me to be not, punished, but that's the consequence
Well,
of, choosing the wrong thing.
and I think there needs to be a consequence because,
Yeah.
again, otherwise you would just click and click and click and click over and over and
Yes.
over and over and click on every.
Correct.
You would just go left to right, top to bottom, and click on every location on the map.
Yes.
And they want you to. I think they want you to see the whole game, but
Yeah.
they want you to do it over the course. They want you to be making logical decisions
Yeah.
and following their clues and discovering things over the course of the entire game, not just all at once. So it makes sense to have a consequence there.
Yeah.
But
And I don't want to fail it. I was frustrated at the failing last time, and I'm frustrated again. Less so.
Yeah.
So this time, when you go insane, and you
Mhm.
feel the darkness, probably from again being in this town and making bad decisions,
Yeah.
you are kind of set up with this Yahtzee game. You have to play. you have to
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
You have to play Yahtzee to get out of it. Which I wasn't even sure that was what was happening at first.
They don't give you the rules. They might have like a button up top that's like rules. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
they don't just like. There's not like a tutorial.
And that honestly, that's one of my main criticisms of this game across the board.
Interesting.
Is that I didn't find it incredibly intuitive for your more casual gamer. I think we're seasoned adventure gamers and we have a lot of ideas about how mechanics and puzzles work. For example, since you are in a magic shop, you do get like certain special items just like in Strange Horticulture. You'll get like special items to help you identify things. I had a special item in my desk the whole time, and I finally unlocked it, and I really didn't know how to use it until until something struck me when I was looking at my shelf of items. it really doesn't hold your hand. And I do think that it is easier for your less casual gamer. I'm not saying that to be, offensive or anything. I'm saying if this is your first puzzle game, it might be a little difficult because it is throwing a lot of mechanics at you, and they're not explained well,
So you just brought up something that I did want to get to, and we might as well get to it now. In both games, you at your counter, you also have like a desk, and your desk is full of secrets.
Yep, the desk is secrets, yeah.
You might not realize that at first, but there's a lot of stuff around you that you can pull or move or click or turn. And those things will often reveal, say, secret compartments that you didn't know about. And in those secret compartments will be either more artifacts or tools that will help you as you go. Or even maybe it'll be a clue as to a location that you can go to find more. This is a thing we didn't talk about, I think, in the last episode about Strange Horticulture, or this one, is your book also isn't complete. You do find additional pages to your book as you go.
Yes.
Usually when you identify something, you get a page, like another page for your book. But you can find them other places sometimes. Anyway, so there's a lot of puzzles for you to solve, more traditional, like Myst or escape room or the room style puzzles, where you're using the information or the objects in front of you to manipulate things in a way you wouldn't first think of doing.
Right.
So you'll get, say, the entire time you have these 3 pedestals in one of your shelves in front of you.
The plinths. Yeah, the plinths.
And you can if you put an object on one of them, it glows. There's like a light that appears. And so you kind of know from the beginning, I'm going to have to do something with this eventually.
Yes. That I think is very apparent. One of the puzzles that's like, yes, this is a thing that's there for a reason. And you definitely have to do something with it. Yeah.
Right. And eventually you get a note that'll say like 1 and then have some cryptic clue. 2 and then have another cryptic clue. And then 3 and have a third cryptic clue.
Right.
And you find objects that meet those criteria. You put them on the plinths in that order, and something happens, right? That is the sort of thing we're talking about.
Right. Yes, correct. And the thing that I was referencing within the desk, I think is a little harder to access and hard to know what exactly it's used for, in my opinion.
Right. There's a thing that you got stumped on.
I got stumped on the stupidest thing just ever. I'll say it. Do you want me to say it?
Is it too much of a spoiler? I mean, okay. Why don't you say exactly what the book says?
Okay. So I am playing this game, right? I'm 4 hours in. I'm tired. It's like 2 a.m., but I'm loving this game. That's what I do. You love a game, you start to play it all night, right? And suddenly I am stuck. I need to find like a key of some kind, what they call like an ethereal key. I don't think that's a spoiler. It's in your book. It's in the Strange Antiquities book. And it says something akin to like, you need to spin something around in a circle. And I'm like, I have no idea what I was so mad.
Very specifically says move it in a circle.
Circular motion. Yeah.
In a circular motion.
Yeah. I sent Matt so many angry texts. Yeah. So many angry texts. I didn't realize they meant that literally. As in take your mouse and move it in a circle on anywhere on the screen. Now, there was a previous puzzle that I had just done where you can manipulate the item in the inspection screen. So that kind of set the tone for me. It's like, well, I can't just I can't just play with it all willy-nilly. I need to rotate it on the inspection screen. So I was so stuck. I had maxed out the hints. They weren't helping.
So funny that you were just clicking it over. And were the hints telling you about what you needed, or were they telling you about the key? Because you don't need to give anybody the key. You use the key.
Right, you use it. Yeah.
To basically get to other objects.
I forgot what the last hint was. It might have been like check out the index or read this, or it might have even said you need to put it in a circular motion. I'm like, the fuck is this talking about? I was so confused.
That's very funny. So
it's not funny.
Because you were just clicking on it over and over and over again and saying, why is it not rotating?
I did that. Listen, I did that for a little while, but I was also like,
maybe
had it in my
wrong
head.
Thing.
Yeah, maybe I have a wrong thing. Maybe I should go travel. I'm gonna try some puzzles out. I was trying,
which is an amazing thing about these games, is there's usually a lot you can do at any time.
Yes, I was so mad. I was so pissed. This was about 4 hours in,
and I woke up to those, and I was so confused.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't wake me up. I woke up in the morning, read those texts.
To rage. To raging roses.
I was like, how is she not getting there? Like, I was so confused. And my texts back were like, just do exactly what it says.
And I'm like, how? I can't rotate it. How? It didn't occur to me that it could be meta, that it could be literally on the screen. So I don't know, man.
It's interesting. Here's the thing that gave me the clue there that you could do something like that is earlier on, there's an object. This will be a little bit of a spoiler because I think this is a cool. So you could just pop ahead 15 seconds, but there's an object where it says when exposed to a flame, the flame turns blue. Yes. And you have to grab a candle in your shop, wave it near the thing, and the thing turns blue.
And yeah,
all right, if you jumped forward, we're not going to talk about it. We're done with that one. But
I just didn't. So I just didn't think about it.
That taught me that you can manipulate things in the shop. Mm-hmm. With your again, in a way like Myst or The Room or something. Like your actions as a player have an effect is what it taught me. And so when it came to that is actually when I texted, when I solved that puzzle that you're talking about, the one that frustrated you so much. Yeah. That is the moment that I texted you, I think, something like, this game fucking rules. Because to me...
I was so mad.
Right. Because to me, I was like, this game has this hidden layer of depth that you don't see at first.
Yeah.
Is that you have objects that are sitting here that you can do more with than just give to people as solutions to things. Then you can just put in a slot that says insert artifact here. There was nothing like that in the first game. Even when you used, say, the one plant to unlock a door, you were putting it in a slot that said put a plant here.
Yes. There's definitely way more to do in this game, and it really makes it makes the items very interesting, doesn't it?
Yes.
It makes you really want to know. And these are fictional items in the way that maybe based on some real things, but much
definitely.
Like the plants, these are not real things that you can look up or Google, but the way you use them, it makes you intrigued by these items and what they were used for and what the story is and what the culture is.
Yes.
It's really great. Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, the fact that you can use them on your environment is fun because then you just get ideas and you're like, what if I do that? What if I put this near this other object that seems innocuous, that seems like part of the background? And most of the time, nothing happens. But sometimes something will happen and it's like, oh, that's so cool. All right, for example, this doesn't solve a puzzle. So it's a spoiler, but it's not really.
Okay.
Did you put the mask on the cat?
No.
You can put the mask on the cat.
Oh my god.
And he sits there for a second and gets annoyed. Okay, in both of these games, there's a cat, and in both games, the cat rolls.
Yeah, yeah. I love
in the first
the
game,
cat.
it was a black cat named
Hellebore.
Hellebore, and in this one, it is a little
orange tabby.
Orange tabby with dichromatic eyes.
So cute. So cute.
So good. So, okay. We've talked about all of the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk a little bit about the story.
Mm-hmm.
And we can give some, final thoughts.
Sure. Also, you can pet the cat. Did we mention that? You can pet it.
Yeah, and the cat is Jupiter is its name.
Jupiter.
And every single time you ring a little, service bell.
Yeah.
Like a
for the next customer, yeah.
Yeah, what are those things called? They have a name, but you ring one of those bells, and that's how the next customer. It's like the opposite of how it would work. That signals the next customer.
It just signals them, yeah.
And you every single time you do, spooks the cat.
It's so cute.
So every single time I rang the bell, I also pet the cat because I felt bad for spooking.
I got an achievement for petting Hellebore a bajillion times.
Yeah, I got an achievement for. You also get an achievement for petting Jupiter that many times.
Yeah, which I got because I pet that cat so many times.
Yeah, same.
I do want to go over a little bit just regarding Jupiter and kind of the randomness of our gameplays. And we'll talk about this with the endings too. Is in my gameplay, Jupiter was involved. In your gameplay, it doesn't sound like Jupiter was involved. There wasn't a little quest involving the cat.
Correct.
Which I think I really thought that. I think that's really cool. I think that randomization is really cool. But then I remembered there's a million endings to this game. I do think they're all similar though.
Yeah, I think so.
And they might be hard to get. Go on with the plot though. I already mentioned you're in Undermere, something weird's happening. People they're getting these black eyes.
Yeah, you did mention a lot of it, I guess. So,
yeah, I did. People are kind of losing it.
So I guess the important thing to know is as you're going through, just like the first game, there are decisions. There's decision trees that you don't know. Sort of what's invisible decision, or you're making a decision, but you don't know what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah.
And that
There's kind of a little hint, but it's vague. You're the storekeeper's just I should think about this. And
right.
I think what you're supposed to do is kind of look through your books and determine what your decisions could be capable of doing. Are you using an item that's dabbling in dark arts, or are you using a medically helpful item?
Yeah, but I don't think it's always. I think just like the first game, it's not always that clear. I think sometimes you give somebody something that seems wrong.
That's true.
And they end up doing something unexpectedly helpful towards the plot.
Yes.
So
true. Mm-hmm.
Again, you have Verona there. And the witches are still around, only they don't play as big of a role this time.
It's really not about a coven this time. It's more about it's almost HP Lovecraft. It's Lovecraftian a little bit.
Yeah, things in the town are, again, like you said, things specifically in Undermere. So even you said that you get some other maps.
Yeah.
And those other maps are also locations in Undermere, right? One is the layout of a building, for example. And we won't spoil the third one.
I like the third one. I thought the third one was fun.
And there's a part of the third one you can't explore until you solve a puzzle about it.
Yeah.
Which is also fantastic.
It is. The puzzles are very well thought out, very well designed and structured.
Yes. Yeah. And the way that they sort of cascade. You can't solve this one until you solve this one, but this one won't come up until you've encountered all the things you need to solve the one prior to it. That's so, it's just so well designed, so thoughtfully designed. So yeah, this time the mystery, the danger takes place entirely in Undermare. And you talked about people showing up with black eyes. And being gripped by some sort of madness. A character that you get to know and love in this game shows up at the shop with black eyes at one point.
It sucks.
It is such like a legitimate jump scare.
Yeah. It's like,
because
oh,
you're used to seeing her, and they kind of characters slowly sort of fade in from the blackness. Or, well, there's a window, but they fade in from silhouettes to So you see her outline, and you're like, oh, it's her. And then she gets closer, and you're like, wait, it's not... holy shit! And it's like it takes you aback, and it's so effective.
Yeah.
And she revisits you a couple times, or maybe once.
I think not too many times. I think maybe once or twice. Yeah, once or twice.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
And man, and there's some like action sequences in this game. Now, there's no like real animation. A lot of this, besides like, you know, the trinkets sway and move, and the cat moves, and people again walk up to the counter. But largely, if you visit a place, you're just seeing a card that describes what happens when you go there. But there are some action sequences where it's like, and this thing is happening. You need to react to it. And then you use some sort of trinket to, say, freeze somebody who's about to attack you. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I don't know what else I want to say about this plot.
There's not really too much to say. I think the plot is good, but it is simple because it's so rich in the mechanic. And when I say that, I mean like you're constantly reading about things, you're constantly going to places and meeting characters and having these little action sequences. And you get attached to the characters that come to you as well, which is why when a well-known character gets afflicted by whatever's taking over the town, it's very jarring. But I was way more... The plot is fine. I'll just say that. The plot is fine. It is a plot I've heard before, and that is totally okay because it's really being driven by the setting, by such a cool mechanic, by the characters that come into your shop, by the artifacts that you're dealing with. That's what really drives it. You know, it's the details that drive it. It's not the main plot. It's everything that's kind of bolstering it.
I think that's entirely right. You're right. It's the details. The overarching plot isn't it's not breaking any new ground. It's doing it very well. It's a very competently told story.
Yes, it is competently told.
It fully hangs together, and the exciting moments are exciting, and the mysterious moments are mysterious. Like every element of it is working, but this game is really hung on its, like you said, its mechanics, and I think interactions with the characters. I got to really know and love these characters through their visits to the shop.
Yeah, and I would tie that to the mechanic as well, because they're usually serving some kind of purpose, but it's so woven together. You know what I mean? It's like, this is a mechanic, but you're also getting to know a character. You're also getting a little exposition, a little story. And it's really good. It's really smooth. And I think this sounds like it must be overwhelming, but
no, it's very smooth. I think it's a good idea that you say that, because it is not overwhelming. It is really not an overwhelming game. It is it is just like the first game. This one requires a lot more thought.
Yeah.
Like this will strain your brain a little more than the first game, but it is a cozy game.
Yes. I will concede that I did play this kind of speedily because I wanted to play it and I wanted to talk about it.
Same.
And I probably used the hint. There is a great hint system. So hopefully you're not going to get stuck like my dumbass did when I had to like do a circular movement. It's very helpful. I think that maybe I wouldn't have gotten stuck if I had treated it, like an original Colossal Cave adventure, right? As though I treated it like this is a game to be played and thought out over, weeks, months, years, whatever. I hope not years. I think we're beyond that now. Yeah.
I think this is a game that I think the pace is like you play maybe 1 to 3 days a day.
And that's not what I did.
Me neither. And then you put it down until tomorrow. I think that's like the ideal pace for this game. And, and if you get stuck, rather than bashing your head against it, maybe just step away for a minute.
Yeah.
And let yourself digest everything that you've seen. Yeah. I think there's we did tease one other mechanic that we didn't talk about that is hidden at first and reveals itself later. I think is kind of important. Okay. Each of these at some point you unveil a machine that detects basically, what do we want to call it? Like energy fields.
That's
like
the thing I was referencing in my desk that I struggled with.
Okay.
I didn't quite know what that did at first. It took a little bit.
They're called thaumic fields, and you can set your device to show you what a specific branch of thaumaturgy discipline.
Yeah.
You like set its symbols to that branch of thaumaturgy, and you see what the field is supposed to look like. So then when you hold an object up to the field, you can say, oh, it's displaying this energy pattern.
Yeah.
It must belong to this branch. And that just gives you more information about.
I had a lot of notes about that, about the fields, because that I found maybe the most. It's not overwhelming, but that took the most work to really get into my head for some reason, is keeping these patterns and what the artifacts, like which branch they relate to. That was a little tough.
Same.
There's so many mechanics in this game.
I felt the same way. Yeah. And again, I think if we were playing it at the pace it's probably intended to play at, when you say there's so many mechanics, I think they would have, they're paced gently. They arrive to you slowly, at a smooth pace throughout the game.
Yeah.
But I think, but the pace we played it at is, I think did it a disservice on that front. Though I still fucking loved this game.
And I'll replay it probably.
Me too. Yeah. And so you're right. I did keep forgetting which thaumic discipline meant what. Was Selenic is of the moon, or is Diurnic of the moon, or is
Celestials of the moon, right?
Wixic of the Selenic is of the moon, and so like they do make sense.
It's just a lot.
Think about them, but since you have got so much, like Diurnic is of the day and Selenic is of the moon, but I kept thinking Diurnal, like I kept getting that confused with like Dionysian.
Oh, okay.
That made me think, oh, Diurnic, like the moon, right. Because like Dionysus is so that's
plus there are like planetary and like elements and runes for like things like Jupiter. It can get a little confusing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, again, it's doled out slowly. Yeah, but it ends up being, there ends up being a lot of different factors to identifying things by the end, and. So I kept getting confused which one meant what thing, which field went to which branch. Eventually I just paused and I put since there is 6 rows of shelves, like 3 on either side, I arranged all my artifacts with, like I put all the Diurnic on one shelf, and I put
good idea.
on one row. I don't want to say one shelf because there's dividers, but on one row, and then all my Selenic on one row. And
I got so frustrated with the sheer amount of items that I was getting in the end. Like I didn't do quite that, but at some point I was identifying things I hadn't labeled yet, and everything was like everything was just put randomly in place. So eventually I had a customer come in. She's like, I really like this thing. I'm like, hang on a minute. I'm going to organize my shelves.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I put all the unlabeled ones in like one section, and then everything that was labeled. Thought about doing alphabetical, but who has the time?
Right. Well, so alphabetical. Wow.
I know.
That would be so much. Yeah.
I know you went above me. You did
Yeah.
it by like the thematic fields, but I was thinking about it. I was thinking about doing them in alphabetical.
Yeah, but then they're in any order, right? Alphabetical is, I think, even crazy. Well, I think. Well, I guess it depends.
Depends, yeah.
I think both games have a setting that I didn't use, and that is the auto labeler.
There's an auto labeler?
Yeah, so when you've correctly identified something, it automatically puts a label on it. And
oh no, I should have done that.
I didn't use it because it felt like easy mode.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, no, I don't. What if it thinks I've discovered something and I didn't yet? So I don't want it. But then I replayed Strange Horticulture with the auto labeler on. Mm-hmm. And that literally never happens. It like if you've put something in a slot, that proves that you've identified it.
Yeah.
So it's never going to auto label something that
right.
that you don't already know. So it really is not easy mode. So I would really suggest people use the auto label.
There were a couple times I forgot to label something, and I'm pretty intense about that. I kind of liked doing the labeling. It gave it a sense of realism to me. You know, I'm the proprietor of the shop. I've identified, but if I were to replay it, which I will, yes, I will do auto, because it's hard enough to identify it.
Right.
You know?
And then to have to remember another just like little sort of tedious mechanic. And especially if I played it on PC, but if you're playing it on like a Steam Deck, or I'm sure this will eventually come to mobile if it's not already, don't put yourself through that. Like having to use like a virtual keyboard and stuff. No, just use the auto labeler.
Yeah.
Man, I think we've talked a lot about this game's mechanics, about its story, about its the changes that it has made on its formula since Strange Horticulture. So now I think let's talk about just like any opinions we have that we didn't cover elsewhere.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we covered the majority of what I felt as we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I do really find some things unintuitive, but like I said, this is not my type of mechanic that I usually play at all. It's just not. And some of the, there's some riddle mechanics that I was like, I don't know. There's still some left in my game that I'm like, I don't know. What?
Oh, you didn't identify everything?
Not every single thing. I did the majority, and I was pretty proud. It's very rewarding when you figure out a riddle. Off recording, I'll tell you the ones I didn't get, and maybe you can send me in the right direction.
Okay. All right.
For like, a seasoned puzzle player, I think this is a great game. It's a little hard, I think, for beginning puzzle players. Okay. But that being said, there is a great hint system. You can get through this game. You can do it. There's no unwinnables. There aren't things that simply don't make sense unless you're like me and your brain, you just have a brain fart. And so I do recommend it to a variety of gamers, because it's just so good. It's just so good.
It's very good. Another thing, I'll say this also. They really leveled up the music. I think they leveled up the art and the animation.
Yeah, they did. Yes,
the game is largely, the UI is woven into the actual gameplay. Yeah. But like I saw the counter in Strange Antiquities and how the shelves were laid out and everything, and I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty much exactly like Strange Horticulture. And I went back to Strange Horticulture and I was like, oh, it's really not. These are very, very different. Oh, here's a fun thing: Easter egg.
Yeah.
You can visit Strange Horticulture.
You can visit Strange Horticulture. I was wondering about that too. I'm like, I got really into the game to where I didn't want to just randomly go there. But then I thought, I bet you do. I bet that's what it wants you to do, is just randomly stop.
You do. And
you don't have a reason to. Yeah.
No, there's no reason to, but it's there. So graphics leveled up, this counter, this like the whole like
the whole
the way the game's set up is leveled up, and the music is so leveled up, and it increases in intensity and complexity as you go along, and as the story gets more intense. So as you get towards the very end, there's these like vocals that start to seep in,
vocals,
and I was like, that freaked me out, man. I was like, is something happening? And then like,
is one of my items possessed? I don't know.
Right, exactly. But it sounds so good. The music in this game is so incredible.
I had a thought about one of the tracks, actually. There is a track, a very common track in this game that plays throughout. That reminds me so heavily of a track in Quest for Glory 5. The track is called Silmarian Meanderings. And if you listen to it, you're going to hear it. And that's a good thing to me. It just gave me that same sense of like adventure and like intrigue. Yeah, I don't know. It made me happy.
That's awesome.
Made me happy.
And I was also, again, like you said, there's a lot of endings, but I was very happy with the ending I got. That's
fucked up.
This game was really great. I loved it. Again, like you said, I agree. I would recommend this game to most people.
Yeah, I would too.
Hardcore adventure game fans, to casual gamers, like people that love games like Stardew Valley, even, because there's this cozy and sim aspect. Yeah.
Or kind of like Papers, Please, which I'm sure we mentioned.
And it's cute too. You got a cute little cat.
I love my little kitty cat.
It's kind of like cute spooky. It's like spooky
cute
and horrifying, but also kind of cute.
That's me. This game was made for me, which I'm pretty sure I said about Strange Horticulture as well.
Yes,
it was made for me.
Man, and again, I just can't get over stuff like that. You have multiple books that you cross-reference. All right, I'm gonna start repeating myself if we don't end this here.
That's true. He will.
So, man, okay, we've talked for a while, so I think, Roses.
Yes.
I think we're just gonna wrap up the podcast. What do you think?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
You do it.
Oh, me? Okay.
You start.
Okay. So thank you guys so much for listening to us talk about Strange Antiquities. If you want to talk to us, send us a suggestion, a question, a pet peeve, a game recommendation, please do email us at mattandroses@gmail.com. If you want even more content from us, we do update our Instagram pretty regularly, especially when we update the podcast, and that is Save Your Game Podcast on Instagram. We also have some cute illustrations, and you just posted an outtake today that I thought was kind of funny. So if you want behind the scenes stuff, we should post more of that.
I think we just did one.
Today,
honestly, I think just 10 seconds ago, I think I just cut something, but I'm also going to post it as an outtake.
Do it.
Okay.
It'd be hilarious. And yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say. If you want more of Matt, check out his podcast, Mutant Menace. If you want more of me.
If you want more Roses, go check out her YouTube channel, Pushing Up Roses.
Yeah, we're all over the place. You can find us everywhere.
Yeah, so what does that leave us with?
Well, I think this is the most apt thing we're about to say.
Wait, before you say it.
Uh-huh.
Roses, I don't know if either of us quite realized this because of the time that we're recording this.
Okay.
Next week begins Spooky Month.
Oh my God. Spooky Month. My God.
Go grab your pumpkins. Go get your little plastic masks from Kmart. Go
Kmart.
Get your little
We're such
candy.
Millennials.
Go get your little candy pails. And
get ready for spice lattes and your ghost cake pops.
Get ready for spooky month coming up. We got some spooky games to talk about. But all right, now
psyched. So stoked now.
Okay, what's next?
Well, I was going to say, again, this is the most apt thing that we could say in such an artistic podcast, is because podcasts is art.
Yeah, but we're talking about gothic, spooky horror, so it's clear that also artists suffer.
It is. I'm always suffering.